Hi, are you the neighbor of this house?
Yeah.
Yeah? I found the number.
Did you call it yet?
Let's call it right now.
Let's do it.
So we're back today with Sophia Body. Welcome back, Sophia.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. We're so excited, or I am, because I missed your experience last week where Omar took you on a road trip.
Or I took Omar,
Or
really.
You took Omar
Yeah.
on a road
Ready
trip.
to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right now, we are on our way to the house in Hackensack, and hopefully somebody is home. So, Omar, what do I say? Or I feel like I should say the first thing, no?
You should. Well, if someone's home, you greet them,
Yes.
let them know that you're in the area and you're a local home buyer
Okay.
interested in talking to them about possibly buying their house.
Okay, so I'm a local home buyer and I'm interested in your home.
Just warm up the combo a bit. Say, greet them. Say, I'm glad you were home.
Well, of course, yeah. But
I just happened to be in the area. I'm glad to catch up with you.
Okay.
And just say that I work with an investment group who buys homes locally, and your house is one of the homes we're interested in purchasing.
Okay.
We just wanted to have a quick chat with you to see if you're interested in selling, and if so, we'd like to make you an offer. You don't want to go there as one person who's interested in it, right? You're part of a group.
Right.
So it's our group that's interested in purchasing homes in this area, and I'm out looking to see if I can find properties.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Good.
Let's do it.
Here we are.
Oh, we are here.
There's a car in the driveway.
Oh,
that means somebody's
my
home.
goodness.
Hello.
Hi, are you the neighbor of this house?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you know if anyone lives here? Or is it vacant?
I don't know. They sometimes come.
Sometimes no. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
porch.
They're repairing the house?
No, maybe.
Oh.
No, it's 2 years, 3 years ago.
Oh.
They saved.
Okay.
Okay.
They saved.
Because we were potentially looking into buying the house. Do you know if they're like wanting to sell it or
Do you have
anything?
the phone number, contact, or anything?
No.
No?
The neighbor knows good the person for me.
Okay.
I see.
Okay.
Don't have the number, the phone.
Okay.
So when do you see them at home? They're not home now, right?
Well, they go 1 week, 2 weeks.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
The tour in 2 weeks they came here, no live here.
Yeah.
Told them they repair the porch.
Oh.
Okay.
Sometimes come out here.
So they probably just own the home and are just never here. They just have the home. Yeah.
Yeah.
This the old man.
Old man.
man?
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank
I
you.
don't know, maybe no put anything inside there. No.
Yeah, nothing. That's why we're
Yeah.
we're home investors. We're invested real estate group. So we're like, interested. So
Do you want to sell your house?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, thank you.
thank you. All right, so I have the note. That's the first step. Told him what it is, and I'm gonna try to stick it in this door if I can get past this barricade. All right, so I just stuck the note in the door. We won't wait for a response. We're gonna check out the homeowner's address is located and send mail, and hopefully we get an answer ASAP. Yeah, so we went to the house. There was nobody home. Well, it looked like there was nobody home, but there was a neighbor outside who Omar thought was the homeowner and got excited.
Yeah.
And he informed us that nobody lives there. There's an older man that goes there maybe every couple weeks or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically we asked him, like, does he live here? He's like, no, he's just fixing up the stairs because the stairs were like all caution taped off.
Okay.
And then Omar asked the neighbor if he wanted to sell his house.
Why not?
Nice. Two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
And so then I went back and I put a note on the door, and we haven't heard anything back.
So no
All right.
calls since then.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, hey, that's already pretty cool.
It is. So as
You
soon as
went?
we finished the episode, we said we would wait. Maybe we'd send out a mailer, but Sophia was like, "Let's just go there right now."
Now,
So
yes.
props to you for taking that action.
Yes.
Awesome.
And then once you got there, I mean, everything just flowed because even the neighbor came out, was happy to speak to you.
Yeah, he loved me.
Yeah.
Why not? You're a,
He gave us
a
all
real
the
estate
info.
investor.
Everything we needed. Yeah.
All
So,
right.
so what the main takeaway? You mentioned there's some tape on the doors. No one was living there. There was some staircase that needed to be
Okay.
redone, but the neighbor said someone does come in and out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
like very, very
So did
scarcely.
you ask the neighbor for a phone number, for a name,
He
for
didn't
anything?
know anything.
How does he not know anything? He's the neighbor.
He
Yeah.
said that that somebody had passed away, right?
Yeah.
And so it's an elderly man, and he
He died.
no,
Oh,
I
the
mean
neighbor's elderly man.
someone
Someone died.
passed away. I think his wife.
Okay, I forgot that detail, but
Yeah, I think it was his wife who passed away or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then we got stuck. We know someone died. We think the husband's still alive. The neighbor couldn't give us his phone number, but you did try for that extra bonus points, and you asked the neighbor if he would sell. Did
So
he
we
say
did.
yes?
No, he said I'm not looking right now.
not looking. Yeah.
Okay. So scrap that. So back to this. So what's the next step? What happens?
So
now?
we weren't prepared for this, but because it's a great thing that you just were ready to go. We left a letter on the door,
Okay.
and I didn't even have the right piece of paper or anything, but we
did
used
it.
what we could.
We did it.
And she put a letter. She wrote a note saying that we're interested in buying your house. Please give me a call. At
Yes.
this number.
Okay.
And nothing back. But what was interesting, though, was when Omar went to do further research, you said the homeowner's name was a woman's name,
Yeah.
which confuses me because
Because she died.
maybe
No.
that's-
So the remember, this is just the property record, right?
Okay, so the property.
Yeah. So whatever.
The name on the records. It doesn't necessarily have to be the homeowner right now. It's just as far back as the records.
Yeah.
Okay.
So typically, the most recent person who bought the house.
Okay.
And which records did we look up? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Tax records.
The tax
Yeah.
records.
So you look up the tax records to figure out who the owner of the property is.
Okay, and that was Ruth. Ruth, if you're out there, give us a phone call.
Ruth.
But
So did you find Ruth?
so we found information on her, but it said estate, right? Ooh. So what that
What does
means?
that mean?
Someone, the owner, in this case probably Ruth, she may have passed away, and if she passed away, the property got passed down to her estate. So it's owned by an estate at this point.
What is an estate?
Great question. So an estate is a form of ownership, usually to protect a property if someone is either dead or incapable of managing, or sometimes people can just put it into an estate
Yeah.
because they want to leave it to their children.
Right.
So
That's what
Ruth,
my mind-
Ruth may
Yeah.
not be dead. If that's who it is, the estate of Ruth, whoever, she could just have given this property to someone else to
family? That's
a good
manage.
point. Yeah.
She could be in a nursing home, or she could be dead. It could be one of the three.
Yeah. So now we know it's owned by an estate, and whoever has access to it goes in and out.
Yes.
That's all we know at this point.
Right.
Yes.
And do we have an address for this estate? Did it give you an address
We have
other
a
than the
phone
local
number.
So we did
Ooh.
get a phone number. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I just texted it to you. We looked it up this
Did you
morning.
call it?
Yes.
I didn't call it.
Well, what the hell? Let's
I'm waiting
call.
for Sophia to call.
We're gonna call
Let's call.
right now.
All right, I'm
Let's
excited.
call. Okay, wait.
We got two numbers.
What should I say?
Well, I would start with saying hi.
So basically,
So remember, these numbers they're not proven to be accurate. So first find out, make sure you're speaking to Ruth.
Right.
Say,
Obviously.
ask for Ruth. Say, my name is so-and-so. I'm calling because I'm a local investor
Okay.
in Hackensack. And we came across your house.
Okay.
I wanted to know if you have a minute to speak about it.
okay, so we have two numbers here for Ruth.
Well, let's do some role play.
But you got to put on speaker.
So, Omar,
you gotta
you pretend that you're Ruth.
No, we don't need
yeah.
role play.
You sure? It's always
let's
better
go-
to
let-
do role play.
Really?
Let's just
She wants to go. This is how
You
she
ready-
was
you ready
even
to go
last
in?
time. She
Yeah,
just wants to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just
She's
go.
ready.
okay. Okay,
Ring,
let's
ring,
call
but
the
Just
first
put it on
one.
speaker though.
The drum roll. Ah.
The number you got
All right.
is not in service.
Not in service.
Okay.
That's the first one.
But
Okay.
wait, before we call the second number, let's just do some role play.
Okay.
I know, Omar, you're not big into role play, but I'm telling you, as
She's
a trainer,
good just going live for sure. We'll give it a
Yeah,
shot.
I'm better live.
you're live.
Okay.
But when you're live in person,
Good morning. Good afternoon, Ruth.
when
How
you're
are you
live
doing?
in person with a person, it's much easier than when you're live on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, because you can't.
It does help.
It
React,
does.
You can't.
It does.
Visualize what the other person's doing.
I'm more nervous calling than I was actually going to the house. So,
Okay.
okay.
Who do you want to be in the role play? You want to be the caller, or do you want to be? All right.
You
why
tell
don't
me.
Why don't you start as the?
She should be the caller. You be the seller. Owner.
Okay, I'll be Ruth.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ruth. How are you doing?
Who's this?
Hi, my name is Sophia.
Why are you calling me?
Real estate. I'm calling because I was driving past your house and I realized that it looks like there's nobody living there, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in selling or what your plan is for the house.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting older and I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet, but we are living here. We just live in the basement because the rest of the house is uninhabitable.
Oh, okay. What do I do? What do I do now?
Ah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
why we role play.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I don't know. Basically, I would want to ask if we can come there and see the house.
Actually, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was just wondering if you were up for it, if we can come by and see the house, check it out.
Well, I don't really know who you are.
Oh, well, I'm Sophia. I work with Alex Anderson Real Estate Company. We are based in Hackensack. And basically, we love taking over properties that look like they're in distress.
Well, are you saying I look like I'm in distress?
I'm basically saying the house looks like it's in distress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Why don't you come by? You know, I'll be awake between the hours of 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. tomorrow. And
Okay.
come on by.
Okay, so it will be me and my partner, Omar.
Okay.
And we'll see you then.
Awesome.
Have a great afternoon.
You too.
This is like a fairy tale ending over here. It never works out
There
that
you
way.
go. So what did you think of how she approached it?
You had the right idea, right? It's just about fine tuning it so that you answer her questions before she even has to ask them a lot of times, right? So make her feel
Okay.
more comfortable with who you are,
Okay.
because initially people are not so receptive to someone calling and saying, I want to buy your house.
Right.
Right off the bat. So you could say something along the lines of, we are local home buyers. We're
Okay.
interested in buying your house because it came across our list. And we're reaching out to see if you're interested in selling or if we could offer you anything, any home services
Okay.
that you may be in need of.
Yeah, offering something. Okay.
And I wouldn't mention that the house is distressed,
Okay.
even though that's the right thing to say, but I would word it differently.
Okay. What you just said, it came across
Just that
our
we're
list.
interested in buying homes in the area and your house is on our list of
Yes.
homes that we're interested in.
Except, so both of you are leaving out one of the most important factors right now.
What is it?
What is it? Didn't you meet the neighbor? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know the neighbor's name? Well, shame
Forgot
on
the
you for
name.
not getting the name.
Okay.
You should know the neighbor's name. When you make a cold call, the goal is to turn it from a cold call into a warm call. You want to show that person that you care about them or that you have a connect with something that's around them so they feel more comfortable talking to you. So as Omar said, you want to get the person comfortable. So I would probably start out and be like, hey Ruth, this is Sophia. Hope you're doing well. I met your neighbor next door because I stopped by your house last week. Do you have a minute to chat? So now you're showing
Okay.
them
That's a good
that
point.
Yeah.
you have a connector. You've already stopped by her house. So now she's going to start talking to you. Well, wait, she met the neighbor? Oh, what did the neighbor say? Oh, why? You stopped at my house already? Now you're creating a connection. If you just go in with your basic cold stuff, you're not using that. Now, yeah, sometimes if you're calling and you didn't go to their house or you didn't do something, you don't have those things, but you could always make up
Yes.
parts of it. So when I call, I always look, if I haven't been to the property, I always look it up on Google and make sure I have a visual of what that property is. Okay, that way I can reference it and I can be like, I was reaching out to you because I noticed that you had these awesome shutters in the front of your house. That's why I stopped by. They look like they're from the 1900s. Did you install those? They're so cool. I really like them.
He's
But
such
while
a
I have
great-
you on the phone, could you share with me your thoughts on what you're doing? You know, we're buying houses in the area. I've already met with 2 of your neighbors, and I'd love to stop by and spend 5 minutes with you and just see what your plans are for the future.
Eric is always so good with the connection part
He is.
and the personable part.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you got to role play.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try that call again. Ready? Ring, ring. I'm Ruth. Ring, ring. Hello.
She's calling you.
That's right. You ring, ring. You ring, ring. All right. Hello.
Hi, Ruth. My name is Sophia. I was taking a walk outside your property. Oh, that's
Are
bad.
you a stalker?
No. So just come off as you're a local investor who buys. This is what you do for a living, right? So you're driving by.
But he said not to do that right away.
You could mention that along with the neighbor that you met the
I
laborers.
think you have to get the connection first.
Okay.
But as an intro, that I'm a local investor. I met with your neighbor last week. We're looking to buy homes.
No. I think that.
It's your thing. Do
Okay.
it. Let's go.
Good afternoon, Ruth. How are you doing?
Good. What's up?
My name is Sophia. I was walking past your neighborhood, and I stopped outside your house, and I met your neighbor. I forget his name, but it was to the right side. And we were talking for a little bit, and I was actually inquiring about your house.
Oh, you met Joe?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I did. He's such a lovely man.
I hope you didn't say anything about me.
No, he was just saying that the house was being the front porch was being renovated.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We had a snowball accident and it broke.
Yeah. So what I do, my name is Sophia once again. I am part of a investor real estate group, and what we do is we look for homes, and your home actually came up on our list, so that's why I was outside taking a gander in the neighborhood and walked past the house. And yeah, we're not.
Keep going. This is real life here.
Yeah, and yeah, we were interested in the property, so I was just calling to see what the scoop is on your house, as it looks like nobody really lives there.
Yeah, I don't really live here anymore. I moved in with my children because I'm too old and I can't. You know, that snowball accident really screwed up the house.
Oh, okay, I think it's a beautiful house.
Oh,
by the way.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so much property. So it sucks that it's just sitting there with nobody living in it.
It sucks. Excuse me. What do you mean?
It's unfortunate, that such a lovely house is vacant.
Ah, yes. Yeah. I may want it to get to a new family soon.
Oh, well, that's perfect, because what I do is me and my partners, we buy houses, and we have a few in Hackensack, and I was wondering if we can maybe possibly come and take a look at it.
Actually, I'll be there tomorrow at 10 a.m. if that works for you.
Perfect.
Awesome.
It will be me and my partner Omar, and I'll see you then.
Perfect. Bye. Thank you.
Is that better?
That was really good.
Okay.
Like when everyone starts out, it's always like that. Okay. But you made it through.
Okay.
You
was
made
good.
it through.
That was good.
I kind of went blank for a
It
second.
happens though. You wouldn't have gone blank if she was actually on the phone, but
Right. Maybe I would have, but
no, it would have been more natural. But
You have to react to how the person's
Yeah.
talking, and
Yeah.
my strength is always trying to connect with people,
Yeah.
and I think that if you show the connection before you show the money part of it, then you'll be more successful.
it's weird because I'm like I like to be personable and connect in real life. When I'm there for like a purpose, I'm more like, let's get to the purpose instead, and I forget about the connect. So it's interesting to see that.
yeah.
But
Yeah. So let's try the other number now.
Okay.
I think you're ready for it.
okay, here we go.
Just make sure it's on speaker.
Yep.
What does that mean?
It's just
try
not
it
in
from your phone.
service. He said,
Remember I
"What is
texted
that?"
you.
Yeah.
The person you are trying
Two
to
bad
reach
numbers.
is not
All right. So two
All
bad
right.
numbers.
So now what?
So now what?
All that
now
role playing for nothing.
No, not for nothing.
No, not for nothing. Absolutely not for nothing.
All right, so this is common, right? If we had the right number every time, this would be an easy business, and everyone would be getting deals. So, because this is an estate sale and the numbers we skip traced are not always accurate, we have to figure out how to get in front of the homeowner.
What's skip tracing?
I was just going to ask
skip
that.
tracing. So the only way you can get someone's number is by looking up their information.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google their information, use one of these generic websites, you won't get accurate info. So what people do is they use a service called skip tracing. It's a paid service.
Oh, yes. You mentioned that one on
Yeah.
our previous show before.
So anytime you want some background information on somebody, you can do a skip trace on them and get phone numbers, previous addresses.
How
so on and so
accurate
forth.
is that?
It's accurate enough to be worth doing.
Okay.
So sometimes you may get 10 different numbers and one of them might lead to someone who knows someone.
Yeah, I've actually done that where I've called and they're like, oh, it's my aunt and so-and-so or my uncle. And then,
Yeah.
And then they don't always give out the information, but they'll actually pass it along to that person. And then I've gotten calls.
Yeah, and you get lucky every now and then you hit the person directly. So
And these were the only 2 numbers that were on skip
on this
trace?
one, yeah. So we could do a deeper search. I didn't do that yet. I'll see
And
what else is out there.
what a deeper search consist of or look like?
It's a more advanced level search. I did a preliminary skip trace on this one, but let's see what else we could pull up on.
So I
on
have
a
2
deeper
ideas
search.
for you.
Yeah.
So one, I know you guys left the note on the door, but did you actually mail a letter to that person or to that house?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But we're gonna do that. But I think what we're gonna do is mail a letter, but mail like a gift card or something in the letter, so it's not just a letter.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, okay. Gift card for what?
I don't know. I was
Starbucks?
asking
Something as simple as that, yeah.
Yeah.
Home Depot for their stairs. You need here's a $10 Home Depot gift card to fix your stairs.
How about the medical supply store?
Medical
So
Yeah.
they're old.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't know if Ruth is
Yeah.
old, and we don't know if Ruth is dead, so we don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, the next
Starbucks.
step is really to get in contact with the homeowner, right?
So I like the gift card idea. That's really creative, and I think mailing that out. So the reason you mail it out is because we don't know
where the mail's
where
gonna
the
go.
mail's going, and a lot of times people do forward their mail service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You brought that up
Yeah,
too last
yeah.
time, and I was like, oh, that's a really good point.
Okay, so we got to mail out a letter. We're going to put in a gift card.
A few letters. We'll mail out a few.
Okay, and what else can you do?
So at this point, this house becomes a potential lead, right? So what I typically do is you add this to your list of homes that you're still looking for. So this becomes one of many,
Yes.
and it becomes a game of follow-up. So between sending mails, if you're in the area, you could drop off another piece of mail, tape it on the door.
I was actually going to stop by there again
See,
on my
that's
way
actually
here.
where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you forgot the neighbor. Okay, I guarantee you he didn't forget you. Okay, so you go back and now you knock on the neighbor's door, and you say, "Hey, Mr. Neighbor, remember me?" So I tried
Knock
to get
on his door.
yeah, the neighbor,
Why?
because you can say, "Hey, remember me? I tried to reach out. I found out that the house is in an estate. A person named Ruth, blah blah blah. I've been trying to get in touch with her. These are the numbers I had. Do you happen to have another number?" or
He
a way
doesn't
for
know.
me?"
He doesn't
Yeah,
know.
we
He
any-
asked all those
Yes.
questions, and he had
Yes.
nothing.
Nothing.
Nope. All he knew is that somebody came by every now and then.
Did you try the other side of the house, the other house on the other side?
No.
No,
Try
but I would
that.
do that. I would do that too.
So how often would you follow up?
Follow up meaning
Passing by, trying
going
to.
there? Well, if I was in the neighborhood, I would literally go every day.
Got it.
There you go.
So what ends up happening is, remember, this is one of many, right? You can't spend all your time on one deal. If you're local, why not stop by whenever you can? But the goal is to create a list of potential homes
Right.
and then just keep following up.
So this is just the first one on our list.
Yeah. So because you're in the area today, you want to stop by, go for it. But ideally, you don't want 50 homes that you're constantly stopping
Going-
by.
yeah.
You don't want to do that.
No.
So
What else could we do? What about like an OPRA request?
that'll give you records on the property, but not specific
If
to
there's
that.
any if there's any
what?
taxes,
A what
or
request?
Open Public Records Act for the country. It makes the towns give you information about the property. If there's any tickets or violations or any issues, maybe there would be a way to get in contact with someone through that.
It'll show you violations, open permits and stuff, but how would that help you get in contact with the seller?
It may show you a mailing address where a ticket was sent, or maybe there's a name in there other than Ruth. I don't know.
I haven't done that. I think that's very surface level because the city sends things directly to whatever's on the tax records. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's true.
that's gonna really.
And you
benefit.
confirmed that the tax records had this address on it for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the tax records has a different address on it, which we could use, but this wasn't the case. So again, this is a game of follow up now. If you have one lead, it's like let's do everything we can to get it. But if you have a list of 100 homes, guess what? You might get 10 deals off that list of 100. So the goal is to continue building the list, not just stay
Right.
fixed on one deal.
Right.
Okay. So on to the next one.
Yeah, just now at this point, I would work out how I'm going to follow up through mail. And if you're in the area, maybe you want to leave a note on the door. But outside of that, I wouldn't spend too much energy on it.
Yeah.
Even though it's that perfect starter property.
It is.
It could be. It could be. It's funny you said you live in the basement during that cold call, because that's not a basement. You could live in.
Oh, we haven't been inside the house.
Something's going to happen to this house at some point because it is distressed. Right?
Yeah.
And because of that, I would give it priority. But how much time are you willing to spend on it?
Right.
So I did a trick once where I was trying to find an owner, and I went to the neighbor and I was like, look, we had a problem. We fell or something fell off the house and hit us, and we need to contact the owner.
You did that?
Yeah. And it actually worked, and they gave me the information for the owner because they didn't want to get involved in it.
Were you crying when you said that?
No, I wasn't. I don't
So they didn't
cry.
say, what the
That
hell
would
are
be
you doing
funny.
on someone else's property?
You know,
That's
you
a
tripped
good
on the
tactic.
sidewalk or whatever.
That's a good one.
There's ways to get people to help you, and maybe this neighbor who told you he didn't know anything, he may know something the second
Maybe I
time.
can give something to the neighbor, and then he can give to whoever whenever he
Great
sees
idea.
someone there.
That's a great idea. You could go bring him a Starbucks
gift
gift card
card.
and say, hey, the next time the stair people come by, could you please knock on the door, or could you call me and I'll come running over?
Yeah.
Great idea.
He'll probably use a gift card on himself. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
but
that's what it's
the
for.
point.
Yeah.
oh, I thought you meant to
Yeah.
give it to him.
But then
No.
when we get in contact with the owner, then we could give them another gift card.
Yeah.
I got you.
And that's a great angle. It's like, hey, I just want to buy you a cup of coffee for 5 minutes of your time. I like it.
That's interesting, because keep in mind, you're leaving a note on the door. So the homeowner is seeing it. Whoever's stopping by is going to see it, right?
If they stopped by, I mean, you'd be surprised if they're just repairing the stairs. Maybe they don't even read the notes. Maybe it's a contractor.
So what I would do is tape it on the door. You don't put it in the mailbox. You tape it on the door. Or
But
put
still.
it like right in the doorknob where they have to see it. So on to the next one now. So again, the whole purpose of getting into this business is you need volume. It's a numbers game. Can't stay fixed on one deal. So the question is, how do you get more deals now? How do you
Right.
get more people to follow up with? So how do you do that, Eric?
So the way I would do it is start a farm.
A farm.
And I would pick an area. So let's say you liked Hackensack, for instance, and you pick a 5-block radius and identify 10 houses in the area that you think are undervalued or distressed or uninhabited, and we just attack them every week. Same way we're doing.
Yeah.
Phone calls, letters. And when we visit, all 10 homes are in the same area, so it's super easy, and just go 1, 2, 3. You just go through all 10 until it happens.
Right. So once you
And
pick,
so how do you go about, well, we spoke about that is driving for dollars.
right.
And then what was it called? The tax what is it? How do you
So we use tax records to find the owner of the property.
how do you find the properties? Like, well, how would you, drove and found this one. So how would you go about finding other ones in the area?
What type of properties would you want to find? I know what you're trying to say, but what type of properties are you?
Like, distressed.
Right? So if you look up records, you can't see the physical condition of the property, right? When we do driving for dollars, you're looking at homes that look like they're in distress. But when you look up records, you're looking for financial distress.
Financial distress.
Right? So if someone's behind on their payments, you know that something's happening here where they need a solution.
So is there a way to find that out?
Yeah. So people who are behind on their mortgage payments for at least a minimum of 3 months, it becomes public record. So what I mean by that is if you stop paying your mortgage at the 3-month notice, the bank files what's called a list pendants. That gets recorded, it becomes public record, and you could search for it.
Where?
So it gets filed at the county clerk's office. However they do it, it gets filed over there, and then it becomes searchable. So you could go into any town that's your farm area and
Right.
search for all the homes that are behind on payments.
So how do you do that, though? You just type that into Google, Hackensack homes behind on payments?
So if you're a realtor,
But no.
you could put Hackensack list pendants, and you will find that.
there you go.
Yeah.
List,
Okay.
list pendants.
List. LIS.
LIS.
Oh, lists.
List pendants, yeah.
List pendants.
Yeah, so
We
close
love the
enough.
T for savings.
And you know what? If you put Hackensack homes behind them, you probably will find it too with Google. The way it works
Okay,
is
we
like
should try that
not
one
too
day.
far off. So the whole goal is there's
List pendants.
list pendants, and the whole goal is you find this paid services that you could subscribe to, and they'll give you a list of all the homes in a town, county that are behind on payments.
You mentioned that last time, too. What's
But-
it called again?
In New Jersey, it's njlistpendants.com.
njlistpendants.com.
But if you're a realtor, you can get access to it straight through the MLS. It's very easy to access. Very easy.
So since she has access to realtors, what should she be asking them?
is go to the MLS, send me all the homes in Hackensack that are in list pendants right now.
And that's where you think we should start. So let's do
That's
that.
one of the many ways to start. Now, I did a search on that recently. I looked through it on a regular basis. In the market we're in, there's not too many people behind on payments right now. Because list pendants is a whole separate category altogether. If someone's behind on their payments, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a deal there, right?
Just means they're lazy.
Yeah, this means they're going through it.
They didn't make their payment. They didn't feel like
they're
making
going through it.
Yeah. So they're under some sort of distress.
But you said it doesn't mean that that it. So that's what they didn't feel like going to make the payment. You'd be surprised there are people out there that have money and they just don't make the payments.
You call that laziness, sure, but those are great people to buy from. All right?
Okay.
So ideally, someone who's maybe lost their job or whatever the case it might be, and they can't make payments anymore, so they have to sell. But it's not as simple as selling because there's a lot of technical stuff that has to go into it. So bottom line is, this market right now is not ideal for list pendants.
Okay, so you're saying let's not do that. So we're driving for dollars. That's our only option. What about...
No, that's not the only option. Hold on.
What's the next option?
So remember, the whole goal is to find people who may be in a situation they want to sell.
Okay.
So what other distress forms are there?
You don't pay your taxes?
Taxes is one. It's not a prime list. But what do you think? What do you think of that list? If someone doesn't pay the property taxes.
Wouldn't that be like correspondent with the list pendants? Like,
so it's list pendants is your mortgage, right? Taxes is if you don't pay your taxes, there's something called a tax lien sale.
Okay, tax lien sale.
But that's different altogether.
Except that's a good indicator of people that are having financial issues.
It could be,
Right.
but the thing is, I've tried to do that, and what I found is, like you mentioned, in this case, people do get lazy and they don't pay their property taxes. The mortgage always gets paid. I don't think laziness has to do with mortgage, but
property taxes more, I feel, would be more laziness. I feel
because a lot of people drop it off instead of making electronic payments, and sometimes they don't make the full payment. So there's like $100 balance, and then that shows up on the record, and it's not even worth pursuing.
Okay, but it's definitely an option.
It's something to look at.
Right.
It's something to look at.
Okay.
I wouldn't focus on that, but it's something to look at.
But if you're focusing on, let's say, a town, and you're doing your driving for dollars, and you have that list pendants, and you're not finding it, but then you check the tax records, maybe one of those houses that you're driving for dollars on happens to be on the delinquent tax list. So that would be another indicator for you that you've picked something.
But so again, it's possible, but if their taxes are late but their mortgage is current, chances are they will pay it.
Yeah, they're just being late.
And it happens.
Yeah.
So what's next?
So this is all a matter of building a list of homes, right? So you could drive for dollars, put together 50, 100 homes, but how do you add more homes to that list so you continue to follow up? The whole goal is if you have a list of, say, 250 homes or 500 homes, how many deals do you think you could get off that? Even if you get 10% of that. But let's just say you get 10% of that, you get potentially 20 deals, right?
20?
It's a lot. At 10%.
Like two.
Two would be great.
Two would be great.
Yeah.
But the more your list has, the better off you can get.
But how do we go about getting this list?
So then you keep adding different criteria to it. So another criteria that's huge is out-of-state homeowners that have equity in their house. So how many people want to buy, we just had a podcast on this, buy property out of state because they think they could be out-of-state landlords, right? Rent it, they fall into distress, and they just want to get out of it. It
sucks being an out-of-state landlord.
It does. I would never recommend it.
So like if we own property in Maine and we can't drive up there every day.
No.
Yeah.
So tenant issues is major.
A lot of people want to do that, but now you're saying that's not a good idea.
I would never do it.
Okay.
Because if you buy one or two properties out of state, you won't have what it takes to manage it, and most of those deals end up losing money.
I also think people do it because usually, at least the people we know from New Jersey, if you're in a New Jersey, New York metropolitan area, you have extra money to buy that property.
Yeah.
You're probably buying out of state because it's cheaper.
That's what a lot of people want to do. They want to own homes and rent it out.
So
a lot of people want to do that.
I have someone who bought in Tennessee. They bought a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house in Tennessee for like $100,000, and they're paying a company 15% every month to manage that property. Crazy killer of profits.
I don't know anyone who's bought out of state a 2-family, 3-family, and made money on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, good point. Don't buy a house out of state.
No.
Think you could be out of state landlord. Not a good idea. Okay.
But actually, I like the fact where you're going with this is that those people are going to be more likely to sell than someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's another list that you could focus on.
How do we get that list?
Oh, so people that are out of state of New Jersey, owning homes in New Jersey or
Yes.
New York or wherever.
So we call that the absentee owner list.
Absentee
right?
owner
People
list.
who own property, investment properties, but they don't live there. They're absentee owners. So the house is either vacant or it's rented.
How do we get that list?
You search for absentee owner list. That's it. And now you could chop that down and say absentee owners with equity in their home.
Really? And there's a thing that'll...
There's a paid service for all of this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't find this on the MLS, but there's a paid service for this.
Okay.
So this is the same when we start talking about
And
these
so that's
lists.
a benefit with working with realtors.
No, not realtors.
Well,
someone who's knowledgeable and has access to this. So
that
this-
has access.
It could be you in a week, right?
Right. But for people like me,
Mm-hmm.
working with people like you that have access to all these lists and
Yeah.
stuff.
So you have access to these lists. You don't need to be a realtor because these
The
are all
paid service lists I
services.
meant.
Yeah. So if you want to do this within a few days, you have access to everything, right?
So what does it cost to subscribe to one of these services?
It's not. It's. I don't know of a specific fee,
But
because
it's a
each
little
list has a different
overwhelming
cost.
though, because there's so many like lists,
There is.
and I think I need a pen and paper.
So
To write all this stuff down.
It is overwhelming, but remember, once you get into real estate investment, you're wearing different hats, right? So this is you wearing your marketing hat, and you're a marketer for your own business and for yourself. So like every marketer out there for every product, they have a specific category and target market that they focus on. Who's your target market for this?
Yeah, and regarding the pen and paper, we're just going over this as overviews and teaching you. When we do our master classes with you, then we'll have this all outlined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do is give me any product out there that comes to mind.
Lip gloss.
Lip gloss. So they probably have. So lip gloss, when they market on social media, they tap into all the influencers on
Okay.
a specific list, right? They're not tapping
Right.
into guys.
Right.
So we need to tap into that same list of people who are looking to sell, who we think
Sell
want
lip
to sell.
gloss.
And in order to do that, you got to put on your marketing hat.
Out of state lip gloss holders.
Out of state homeowners.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's another list. And we can keep going on, but like you said, this is something better in a pen and paper or format, mastermind type format.
So we're going to do out of state properties. We're going to do
No, out of
Distressed
state
tenants,
owner.
Out of state owners.
owners.
Liz Pendens.
Out of state owners, list
and driving
pendants,
for dollars.
and
Driving for dollars. We can get into more detailed stuff. Probate is huge. People who pass away and
Ooh.
pass down their properties.
I want that. I like that.
It's not as easy to get, but it's definitely a huge
Okay,
list.
so hold on. So probate, people that died, are there specific lawyers that handle probate cases?
Yeah, but good luck working with them to try to get their deals. It's not going to happen.
Couldn't we start calling these probate attorneys?
Yeah, but they won't work with you.
How do you know?
Let's
It
not
just doesn't
go
work that
with,
way.
Yeah, let's not do that.
What if we visited their offices?
And do what? Bring them donuts?
Yeah.
But they
Build
it
it's called
typically.
relationship building.
I think if anyone could do it, you could pull it off with relationships. But with these
I think you
attorneys,
could do it too.
with the attorneys, there's so much red tape in the way they have to do things. They're not going to welcome you in and start giving you deals. I've tried it.
Okay.
And
Did you
they-
bring donuts?
Did you bring Sophia?
We had true, right? That too. But
You
it's
probably brought nothing.
no, I didn't just make
He
a cold
probably
call.
didn't.
What
You just
happened
knocked
is
on the door, walked in.
no, I knew a friend who was really good friends with an attorney, and this guy led us into his office, into his archives, into his folders, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And every time we needed something, he said he can't do it, and I understand why.
What would they ask? What were you asking him to do?
Information on the client that he was working with, so we could pitch our service.
He
to
let
help.
you into his files. You found the client, then he won't give you their phone number?
No, because he said there's client confidentiality issues.
So why did he let you into his files?
Because he was open to working with us until it came to the point where we had to actually get information.
And there was no phone number in the file that he opened up
But
to
he's
you?
not just going to give it to us and say, hey, just call this person who I gave you their file on and tell them I
And he
sent you.
wouldn't call the person for you and say,
No.
hey, I have an interested
No,
party?
because there's a lot of red tape when you work on these specific files.
I think that if you educate the attorney that you're there trying to help the client.
Okay, but the attorney is the educated one on this topic. They're the ones dealing with the clients.
They may not know how to help this person in probate. They may not have a buyer. They may not have someone that's going to take their house as is with
I
all
think
the
it
stuff in it
sounds-
and solve the issues.
I think it sounds like it's something when we discuss it, but when you get into the legal red tape, it just doesn't pan out.
Okay.
So we've tried it. I don't do it anymore because of that. But
Okay.
it's worth discussing.
I think you have to have all these different items in your tool bag.
So yeah, I'd rather like keep the lawyer situation for the last resort, if ever.
I'm with that. And if you come across that opportunity, do it, because who knows? You may meet an attorney that could help you get into his files, and that may work out. So just to appease Eric over here, but let's sum up the
I love
tactics.
lawyers.
Let's sum up the tactics that do work, right? So we covered driving for dollars, and we found our first deal right off the bat. So we know that is a great tool to use. Sending out letters. What type of letters?
To homeowners that are behind on payments.
And homeowners who may own property out of state.
Out of state.
Homeowners who are out of state who own property, right?
So you mail letters. You should mail letters to those homeowners as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to see who's interested in selling, and then once you get someone who's interested, skip trace it, get their information.
Okay.
And build up a list.
Okay.
Right. So once you have a list, it becomes a game of follow up. See who you could contact and make offers, and now you're in the game. You're making offers. You're seeing houses. People know you're a buyer, so on and so forth.
We need to get there.
Yeah, that's where we need to get. So we're gonna start working and building the list, and then we can add in and discuss things like doing an OPRA search, like Eric mentioned. Building and working on different types of lists. We talked about probate, and pretty much turning this into an actual marketing campaign so that you have a consistent flow of leads, so that you have deals to look at, analyze, and start making offers. That's when you're in the game and things really start to pop off.
This is a lot of information.
It is.
It's so much. I can't remember. Oprah, all these.
It's not Oprah Winfrey.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, this is.
All right, so I have a solution for this. So we talked about how we have mastermind classes.
Yeah.
Why don't we open up a whole... We normally do private mentorship to people, but it seems like you have a lot of interest in this area, and you have a lot of your followers are interested in just people in general. Let's open up our mastermind classes. We'll do, let's say, 2 hours every 2 weeks. We'll do a phone in. We'll do live classes online. People can actually call in, view in with the three of us, and we're going to put everything down in writing. We're going to have scripts. We're going to have agendas and details, and we're all going to do this together.
So I can remember Oprah.
Yeah.
Oprah. There you go.
I mean, if you're serious about doing this, the only way to learn is through some sort of class.
Yeah.
If you want to add it to the mastermind, yeah.
It's a lot because I feel like people, can. I actually was in the store the other day, and the guy that was helping me is a friend, and he was like, "So you could do real estate without a license?" And I was like, "Yeah, but like, yeah, you can, but there's so much to know,
so much more,
and there's just it's much.
Overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming, and I think that the class will be great because then they won't just be by themselves. They'll have a support system around them, like other students that are learning too, us, like. So I think that's a wonderful idea,
and it helps more. You could have motivation initially, but to have mentors and stay motivated is a huge part of the battle, right?
Yeah.
Because how many doors are you going to knock on before you say, you know what, this just doesn't work?
Also cold calling. There's a ton of rejection,
Yeah.
but as long as you're motivated to make money, which Omar and I have mastered the art of motivation, and I would say we're really good at helping motivate others. So we can be that mentorship for everybody out there, and teach you what we've learned, and all of our successes we'll share, and we'll help you make your successes, and it's actually going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to make money.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, DJ Sophia Body, and as you know, I'm getting into real estate. I'm here with my guys, Omar and Eric. We are ready to answer any questions you have about real estate. So make sure you ask away, and we will be answering on next week's episode.